Of all the projects that Marvel is putting out in 2025, there is one that stands above the rest when it comes to its release, and people are generally looking forward to it, and that would be Daredevil Born Again. Realistically, season 4, at least that's the way that it's being pitched, of the wildly successful Netflix series, and given its very troubled production in previous years, it's kind of a miracle in and of itself the trailer can look this convincing to so many people, because here we are, not but 2 weeks removed, and well, the trailer has 14 million views on the main Marvel channel over on YouTube and 571,000 upvotes to only 3,700 downvotes. That's awfully good. I don't think that there are any other major Marvel releases. I'm sure that there's some fringe stuff that's out there in previous years that have received the same amount of acclaim, and especially in Marvel's climate right now, people are very much looking forward to this because Charlie Cox is back as Matt Murdock. You got Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin. Now you just gotta kind of wash your mind a little bit about the damage that has been done to Kingpin and Hawkeye and an Echo. That's totally fine, right? But hey, you know, at least with this kick at the can after they turfed like what 5, 6, 7 different episodes of previous reboot that they scrapped wholesale, which I would love to see at some point in time, even though there is some of that already shot footage that is getting repurposed into this. So no, it's not completely and totally free of that failure that they admitted back at the tail end of 2023. Really doesn't much matter, because we're going to be able to see this end product right at the beginning of March. And yeah, Kingpin being taken seriously will definitely be a step in the right direction. Then, of course, the titular character in and of himself, the last time that we seen him, outside of a very fleeting cameo in Echo, which do we even know if that was Charlie Cox in the role, because it was just some poorly choreographed fight scene with a deaf cripple. The first time he was in the MCU, and the last time we seen Matt Murdock, was being the brought back to life male blow-up doll for Jennifer Walters. Very interesting, right? Because for as many mental gymnastics, it's like not very many people watched Hawkeye, and nobody can even remember that Echo came out last year. So yeah, the damage to the Kingpin, you can kind of forget about it. But for as bad as She-Hulk was, like Daredevil was in quite a bit of it, and She-Hulk, even as bad as it was, like it hit all of the internal metrics for Disney to get a season 2, but it was just so poorly received. And Jessica Gao is such a horrific writer that even Disney knew that, yeah, we could probably go ahead and do away with that. So people are aware that Daredevil has been in the MCU before, in his costume, and one of his costumes, the original, oh my god, it's comic accurate, so that means it's good, right? I hate those adaptation arguments, but I digress. He was, one of the 3 or 4 different booty calls for She-Hulk out in San Francisco, and did they ever clarify as to why he was on, the West Coast as opposed? It really doesn't much matter, because apparently, according to the showrunner, Daredevil Born Again will ignore all connections to She-Hulk series, the showrunner confirms, which, yeah, that just kind of leans into the idea that we're never going to be seeing Tatiana Maslany and She-Hulk ever again. Daredevil Born Again showrunner Dario Scardapane, I don't know, some spaghetti aficionado, has officially confirmed what many fans hope to hear: Daredevil's controversial appearance in She-Hulk Attorney-at-Law, including his much maligned walk of shame and one-night stand with Jennifer Walters. Which, okay, listen, okay, like, I don't know, it's clearly, it was written by a woman, right? Because guys, okay, even if you end up porking a pig, like, you're not going to do a walk of shame holding your boots like some common thought. Like, that just doesn't happen. Like, I have many grievances with that show, and that's up there as well. And plus, Matt Murdock is blind. How would he know that he, was railing somebody that he should be embarrassed about? Anyways, but Jennifer Walters will be ignored by the Disney Plus revival. This reaction came during an interview with SFX magazine. And it aligns with what appears to be the broader effort by Marvel to quietly distance itself from the She-Hulk debacle. Scardapane, that sounds about right. Stated that while Daredevil's past MCU appearances are technically canon, his approach to Born Again allows a selective acknowledgement of those events. Yeah, no, he's been here before. don't necessarily have to, pay homage to any of that. You can say that Daredevil is canon in the MCU. Those other events happened, but some of them were not leaning into. Adding his one-night stand with She-Hulk may be one of those things. Yeah, of course, because Matt Murdock, at least if we're going to do a source argument, okay, or whatever is canon, I do believe that Disney made the executive call that everything in the Netflix series, or at least they're going to pick and choose kind of like what they do, but at least the Netflix series, in theory, is canon. So yeah, he's a bit of a box aficionado. He's kind of a pussy hound. That's the way that he is in the comics. That's the way that he was in the Netflix series. So if they're continuing on with that and moving that forward, that could be very interesting. It could also lead to a different interpretation of another quote that the showrunner gave in that very stupid interview, because this guy, man, for as much as people were looking forward to this series, even though I said when we looked at the trailer and people were very excited about it, I'm not going to fall for the banana in the tailpipe. You remember how many times we were promised a gritty street level, back to basics, something that really reminds me of like Winter Soldier, and you're seeing all of this cope around Captain America Brave New World, which we'll get to in due time. Trust me. Anthony Mackie just had his Rachel Zegler moment. If that film wasn't going to bomb bad enough beforehand, oh boy, his most recent comments, they've hit the zeitgeist, which I would argue these comments right here, it's probably more deleterious to the overall project. What Mackie ended up mumble fucking his way through during an interview in Italy, which, what's with all these Italian crossovers? That's very interesting in and of itself. But he was just kind of fat-tonguing his way through something and then just not really articulating himself all that well. Showrunner here, I don't know, confirmed everybody's worst fears that, you're going to end up getting rug pulled, which is exactly why giving Marvel the benefit of the doubt at this point in time, after getting sewage pumped straight into your mouth for 5 years, why would you even do that? 6 years at this point. You might even go back a little further than that, because what was Endgame really when you just break down the plot and what it did to most of its characters? But Daredevil, a born-again showrunner, says Disney Plus outing will feature a lot less navel-gazing than the Netflix series. Oh god, and what does he mean by that? The earlier show, at its best, was fantastic. At its worst, it was two characters in a room talking about what a hero is. And yeah, in the trailer, one of your highlighted scenes is the two main characters in the story sitting down having a conversation. And what was one of the most memorable, outside of the Wonder fight scene in season 1, what is one of the most memorable scenes in the original Netflix Daredevil run? Oh right, Daredevil and Punisher having a conversation in season 2. But yeah, no, at its best, it was all about fighting, and I guess he's leaning, and he's more on the side that, we need to go ahead and have, Disney choreographed fight scenes, which are better slathered with a heaping helping of CGI goop, as opposed to boring dialogue, because that requires talent and actual competent writers instead of a bunch of box-checking retards that worked on the likes of Ms. Marvel and She-Hulk. Yeah, that's who's on this writing team, okay? Idiots. Absolute idiots. According to Daredevil Born Again showrunner Dario Scardapane, the Man Without Fear's upcoming Disney Plus reboot will err away from focusing on navel-gazing moments of characters' introspection, as he believes those were the worst parts of the original Netflix series. Yep, it's gonna be trash, bro. If you're gonna steer away from the character-driven drama and just focus more on the flashy street-level violence. I'm not somebody who shies away from action, but there's a reason that Daredevil series has an enduring legacy. Is because it did right and it did well. The source material and to its characters. And Scardapane, whose previous TV credits include serving as a writer and producer on both Netflix's The Punisher. The first season was alright. And Amazon's Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan series. Provided a tease for Daredevil Born Again creative direction. Speaking to SFX Magazine in their upcoming January 2025 issue. Per a recap provided by the magazine's sister publication Games Radar, having broached the topic of just how Disney Plus series will deviate from the predecessor, their showrunner explained, there is more fun in the moments with these characters and a lot less navel-gazing than before. Yep, a bunch of shitty action, a lot less talking and making coherent dialogue choices. You'll love to see it. The earlier show, at its best, was fantastic. At its worst, it was two characters in a room talking about what a hero is. I felt that had been done. I'm not taking swipes. I mean, come on, man. I didn't want to hear characters grousing about their lot in life. I wanted to see them doing things. Oh, fantastic. Yeah, because, you know, God forbid, we have motivations uncovered. We have conflict fleshed out. No. We could just have, you know, shitty hands getting thrown. That's fantastic. Another difference between the two, said the showrunner, was the pacing. Yeah, with Born Again set to have shorter intervals between scenes. Yep, so it's just going to be edited like every other Marvel film, like a fucking TikTok reel getting strung together for 2 hours. Ugh. On The Punisher, one of our edicts was longer scenes. You have these long 5-page scenes of characters hashing it out in order to make space between these massive action sequences. You know, the way stuff has evolved since then, we're able to do big action sequences with a lot more pace. Yep, there you go. That right there. You might think I was being hyperbolic beforehand when I was saying, no. It's just all going to be action. It's not going to be anything about high-quality dialogue, and you might have thought that I was jumping to conclusions on that, but there it is right there. We're able to do big action sequences at a lot more pace. So yes, a bunch of big, dumb, sloppy, stupid action with no stakes at all whatsoever until the penultimate episodes. But hey, that's what people want, right? And in case this idiot hasn't stepped in it enough, Daredevil, a born-again showrunner, compares the series to the Penguin. Oh, okay, one of the most celebrated superhero adjacent projects in like the past 10 years, okay? Something that, to my recollection, didn't have a bunch of big set pieces. Had a whole bunch of that. What is that? Boring character moments where they just sit together in a room and talk shop. Yeah, they had a bunch of that boring stuff, and nobody remembers the Penguin, right? We're even more grounded, even less stylized, even more rooted in the here and now. I loved Penguin. We're a little faster, meaner, cleaner in our storytelling. Yeah, big action sequences, but we're going to be more grounded than the Penguin. More rooted in the here and now, but yeah, we're going to be faster and meaner than an R-rated HBO television show, as opposed to a series that's just going to be relegated to be content on a subcategory on a failing streaming service. I don't know, man. Abandon all hope here, okay? I wasn't taken by the trailer at all whatsoever. I knew exactly what was coming, and here it is, proof positive. Hopefully it's good. Chances are it won't be. We'll see in March. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.